when you're working with the core, staying really attentive and mindful. So this is a yoga class, it's a mindfulness class. So you really want to stay focused on all the sensations that you're feeling and stay mindful in the practice today. So really try to keep your all your thoughts of everything else you need to do outside of the door. Stay focused on what you're doing. Taking that information that you learned today off of the mat at home, when you go to pick something up, and we're getting into a busy season, we're going to be carrying 20-pound turkeys around and packages and all that kind of stuff. Our lives are getting a lot more busy. So thinking first about engaging the core before you bend down to pick something up is going to be really important. So notice how many times you just go grab a chair to move it around to another part of the table. You pick it up and you're like, oh, wait a minute. So thinking about really drawing that belly in, engaging, picking it up mindfully and moving, it's going to keep you a lot safer. Okay, so what we do today, taking that off the mat and into your everyday life and practice is going to be hopefully a nice little tool for you. Okay. So the breath we're going to be doing today is Ujjayi breath, and Ujjayi breath is the victorious breath. Morning, Martha. It's the breath that helps to build up a little bit of heat and helps us to sustain a posture. So when you're starting to feel the core soften or weaken, thinking about using the Ujjayi breath to help support the posture that you're in. Okay, another tool to keep you safe. And we'll do a little body scan at the beginning of practice just to see who and how you are today so that you can pay attention, get centered, get present, get focused, and then we'll move on to our practice, starting seated, moving on to our backs, tabletop, coming to standing. All right, sound good? I'll tell you what we're going to do, and then we do it, and then I'll tell you what we did. All right, so let's get into a really good seated mountain pose. So shift your gift, internally rotate those thighs and get the sitting bones connected and rooted. And think about your pelvis now. If the pelvis is tilted forward or back, see if you can't bring some neutral structure to that pelvis as you lengthen your spine up out of the pelvis. And getting into present moment, let's keep the eyes open as we look around your space and find 3 things that you can see and identify. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, and starting just to gently roll the shoulders. So we're doing a few things at once as we're getting into present moment. So breathe in through the nose, out through an open mouth. Look around, see 3 things that you can see. 3 things that you can feel. The movement of the shoulders, the body connected to the earth, temperature of the air on your skin, and 3 things that you can hear. Sound of my breath, sound of your breath, sound of my voice. And then gently invite the eyes to close. As you imagine taking a tour of the inner landscape of your body, doing a lovely scan of your body, noticing where you may need to offer additional loving kindness, and without judgment, just being present with what is. Our yoga practice, starting with awareness and noticing, not judging, just taking note as if you are the observer. In our yoga practice, we can learn of ways of working with difficult sensations by noticing them and not trying to fight against them, almost trying to accept it as it is without trying to change it. So first we notice and we allow, and teach our nervous system to down-regulate those sensations, not feeding into the sensations or giving them a louder voice than they deserve, not giving it a life of its own, not giving it power over us. So if we can just take some time, carve out this time now to become acquainted with our sensations, noticing them, and then using the breath to invite a softening. And this can be with physical or emotional discomfort. So begin to notice where in your body your breathing is initiated from, the upper chest, the middle, or the lower belly. As you begin to deepen and slow the breath a bit, noticing where in the body that breath is able to expand, softening the belly, side ribs expand, chest broadens. Exhaling, just letting that go. Couple deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose with mindfulness awareness. Feeling all the parts of body connected to the earth. Feeling the weight of the pelvis, the hips, the buttocks on the chair, on the floor. Noticing the back body. If there's any tightness or tension you're holding on to, and using each exhalation just to soften in areas that might be grabbing your attention. Giving up the body to the shoulders. Feeling the weightiness of the arms coming from the shoulders. Any tightness or tension around the tops of the shoulders to the base of the skull. The top of the head. Noticing if there's any furrowing in the forehead or eyebrows, clenching of the teeth. So put space between the teeth so the jaw can relax. Space between the eyes so the eyes can soften. And how are you now? What sensations are grabbing your attention, and can you just be with them? And then invite the breath to go to those places in space, to softening any areas of tightness or tension. Not pushing away. Next breath in, invite it to be full and rich. And as you exhale, enjoy a slight constriction in the back of the throat as if you're fogging a mirror, but closing the lips around it into the Ujjayi breath, just on the exhalation, slowing and lengthening that exhalation, that wave-like sound, enhancing your focus, your concentration on what's going on the inside. Victorious breath. And using this breath, if the mind starts to make up stories, come back to the breath. Come back to your normal, natural breath, bringing the hands to the heart space, knowing you can revisit that Ujjayi breath anytime you need to. To unite us under this beautiful blue sky today, let's chant the sound of Om together, using a full diaphragmatic breath in and a nice, full, rich sound of a chant. So exhale fully, inhale. Bow your head to your heart, as your head should always bow to your heart. And lower your hands down to your thighs. Blink your eyes open, lift your head, and let's stretch our legs out a little bit before we start on our shoulders and spine. Rub the knees, rub the thigh. And just rotate that, the tops of the thighs from the top of your leg bone. Let the feet get a little internal and external rotation. We'll be visiting that internal and external rotation a little bit later. And lean back on your hands if that feels better. Make some circles with your wrists, circles with your ankles, wrists. You can't do that, can you? Circles with your ankles. One direction, then the other direction. I was trying to get your attention away to low, and I got my words on this stuff. Hi. Point and flex, point and flex. Lift and spread those toes. Good. All right. And then come to a seat that's comfortable for you. That could look like diamond pose with the knees up, the soles of the feet together. Feet can be flat on the floor, or if it's comfortable for you to sit in Sukhasana, do so. Find something that allows your spine to lift up. And if you're still a little bit rounded, because we're going to be working on the spine, please put another cushion under your sit bone so that you can sit up tall. All right. Let's just start to roll the shoulders. A little bit more movement in there. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We worked on our back body a lot last week, so continue to pay attention to what's going on in the back body as well. That's part of the core. Bring fingertips onto the shoulders, lift the elbows up, back down and around, and connect with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, back down and around. Easy does it. Only going to your level of comfort. And two more. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, down around. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. All right, fingertips down to the sides of you. This is your mountain. Imagine your seat's the base of your mountain. Press the fingertips into the earth and engage as you lift the heart and gently draw the belly inward. Really enjoy this elegance of your spine. Turning the palms up, reach the arms up overhead. Spread the fingers wide. Get the arms up as far as is comfortable for your shoulders. Everybody will be a little bit different. But we're looking for length in the spine. That's the first movement, that nice length of the spine. Breathe in, and then turn the palms away. Lower the arms down as if they're going through warm honey. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, palms lower down. Stretch and reach your fingertips all the way to the opposite end of the wall. Last time, inhale, find that length. Now root down through your right side, all right? Lower left hand down and crescent over towards that left side. Make sure that right sitting bone is rooted to the earth. Gonna lift and lower twice. So take a breath, lift and lengthen, and exhale, lower. Feel that stretch from hip to rib, all the way up the side ribs. Inhale and exhale. Stay here for a breath. Then inhale, lengthen back up, draw the belly in as you gently twist towards the left. And bring your hand down to your left knee. Bring your left arm to go, this is your right knee, left knee. Bring your left arm to goalpost, turn the palm facing you, lengthen, and then we're gonna take this right shoulder toward the right knee, if that feels good in your body. If it's too much, just back off. And then keep the left arm at goalpost, or maybe reach it up overhead. Maybe upper arm comes in line with the ear. Find what works for your body. Nice. Then lengthen back up, reach both arms up overhead, bring the palms together and lower down to the heart. Let's go to the other side. So inhale, both arms up, find that length. You're gonna take that right hand, lower it down to the right side, root down through the left side and crescent on over to the right. Let's lift and lower a couple times. So inhale, lift. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, crescent. Be mindful of that stretch from hip to rib. And lengthen all the way back up. Draw the belly in. Gently twist to the right as you bring your hand down to your right knee. Left arm comes up to goalpost, palm faces your ear. Stay here or crescent over so that left shoulder's hovering over left knee. And then with that right hand, you can keep it where it is or reach it up overhead or bring the upper arm in line with the ear. Big stretch. Feel the stretch across the back body as well. Inhale, lengthen back up, twist back towards center, reach both arms up overhead, full breath in, palms together and lower down to the heart. All right, just take a moment here to talk about the core and a couple of different ways to engage the deepest muscle in your core. So we're not talking about your bikini six pack. We're talking about the muscle that's deeper than that. It's the transverse abdominis muscle, and it acts like a corset. It starts at the back of the ribs, wraps around, attaches to your ribs and hip, and then attaches in the center as well. So it's just like an old-fashioned corset, all right? There's ways to access that. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do that, and you get to pick which one works best for you. One is, this is kind of violent, but imagine somebody's going to punch you in the stomach and you need to guard yourself against that. You know it's coming. All right, so place your hand just gently over your belly. And then imagine someone's coming to punch you in the belly. And what do? What do? You guard your belly, right? You guard and you'll activate that transverse abdominal muscle underneath. All right, so trust that it's doing that. The second way is to the Queen's cough, which we talk about all the time. This is the Queen's wave. The very little cough, right? So when you take that, the muscle will bounce against your stomach wall and just kind of hold it there. Hold it there, and you've activated the transverse abdominis, okay? The third way is to imagine, this is a little hard when you're sitting, but imagine you've got a grapefruit right between your hip bones here, all right? And you want to squeeze and juice that grapefruit. So this really gets the lower belly. So you got this little crank here on the side, and you're squeezing, your hip points are squeezing together, squeezing that grapefruit juice out of the grapefruit. And you'll feel the lower belly engage just a little bit. So that's 3 different ways to access it. We're also going to get on our backs now and feel it in our body. Okay, so go ahead and lie on your back in constructive rest, which is on your back with your knees bent, knees pointing towards the ceiling. And what you'll want to have nearby is a strap and a blanket that you can put under your hips, all right? So if you need one for your head, you can have one gently under your head, but I'd like for you to have one to place under your hips as well, okay? So make sure you've got all the supplies that you need within arm's reach, okay? All right, see if everybody's got what they need. The alternative to using a blanket under your hips would be using a block if you don't have any issues with your lower back and you want to go into that resting bridge using a block. So I'll offer you both options, okay? All right, so coming into constructive rest, take a moment to just settle into this space. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let the spine settle, let the pelvis feel heavy. Breathing in, breathing out. And then take a moment to put your hands on your hip points. Put them on your hip points. And then slide them inward into the squishy part of your belly and press in and down just a little bit. In and down. All right? So you should be feeling the deep abdominal muscles. First thing I want you to do is the guarding, like somebody just punched you in the belly. So think about it. I'm reeling back and punch, guard your belly and feel the stomach muscle bounce into your fingertips. What you may not have noticed right away is you probably have lowered your lumbar spine down to the mat just a little bit, into a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt. So you're flattening out your lumbar spine a little bit. All right, release that, feel the softness again. And then let's do the Queen's cough. And when you cough, hold it and feel the stomach, the muscles press into the belly. And then the last one is the grapefruit squeeze. So just use your imagination to imagine that you move your hip point muscles and squeeze the grapefruit between your hip muscles. And what do you notice about the sensation under your fingertips there? So see if one of those felt better or easier for you to access, all right? But what you're looking for is that muscle to engage before you move, all right? So first thing we're going to do is the pelvic tilt, which is really important for lower back strengthening and mobility. So imagine you've got a clock on your back side And the upper back, the lumbar spine is 12 o'clock and the tailbone is 6 o'clock. All right, so with your fingertips still in that space, press the heels of your feet into the mat and press down 12 o'clock on your backside. So your lumbar spine is pressing into the earth and you should feel those muscles pressing into your fingertips. Now release the pressure on your feet, come back to neutral and press down 6 o'clock. Press your tailbone down and you're gonna still feel a little bit soft because here your muscles are just stretching and releasing. All right, push the heels down, press the lumbar spine down, press 12 o'clock down, and then release that and press 6 o'clock down. Feel the squishiness. Again, press 12 and press 6. And then do it with your breath. Exhale as you press 12 and you'll enhance that sensation. And inhale as you press 6 and you'll feel those ribs really spread. One more time, exhale, 12. This is not making sense to anybody. And then inhale to 6. All right, now 3 o'clock, press 3 o'clock. That would be your right side. Press 3 o'clock and notice what you notice about the sensation. And then press at 9 o'clock. That would be on your left side. Press 3 o'clock. Little pressure on that right side and press 3 o'clock. All right, now we're going to do the whole clock. So press 12, 3, 6, and 9. Get 12, 3, 6. And I just notice if you can really sense what's going on in your abdominal area. All right, and then let's release that. Take a breath. Keeping your hands still in that place in the squishy part of off your hip points in the squishy part of your belly. We're going to slowly lift the right foot up off the floor and bring the knee in the direction of the chest. Bring it all the way in. It's going to feel a little bit squishy. Then keep pressing the fingertips into your belly as you lower the foot down. And notice at what point when you lower that you feel the muscle really engaging. We're just really getting sensation awareness here. Bring the right foot up. Notice. Bring the knee into the chest, let it feel squishy. And then as you start to lower the heel down, find that point at which you are engaging your core. So a slow, exaggerated march. For people who have lower back pain, this can be a really good way to start engaging and strengthening the core. Little by little. One more time each way. All right. Next time your right foot is up, leave your right foot up and bring your right hand onto the top of your right thigh by your knee. Press your hand into your knee and your knee into your hand and feel the engagement of your core. So you're going to press the knee away from you a little bit until you get to that sweet spot of engagement. And then pushing the hand into the leg into the hand, you're creating resistance. And this is going to build some strength on that side of the core. Again, an excellent way for people with issues on their lower back to gain strength. Release that and do it again. So what you want to build up to is release and press one more time. Press the hand into the leg into the hand. And you want to build up to doing 5, 6, 10 of these at a time. If you notice, if you press your 12 o'clock down on your lumbar spine, you'll use more of your core than your leg and hip flexor. So notice that as well. Let's go to the other side. All right, so we need to engage. So take a breath in. As you exhale, flatten down your lumbar spine, press into 12, lift that knee up, press the hand into the leg into the hand, keep it in the core, less in the thigh and the hip flexor. All right, release, take a breath. As you exhale, press 12 o'clock down on your backside, press the lumbar side down, press, and then press the hand into the leg into the hand. And you feel that engagement of the core. And release one more time. Flatten out the lumbar spine a little bit, press hand into the leg into the hand. Nice, and release that. Bring the knees into the chest, release the belly. So this completely releases the muscles, rock side to side, and also massage your lower back a little bit. Bring your hands on the tops of your knees and push your legs away from you so your arms are straight. And then take the knees away from each other, making some circles with your leg bone in the hip socket. Notice what you notice here about the hips. One side's a little stickier or tighter. What's going on? And then go the other direction. And then lower the feet down. And if it's okay with your lower back, slide the legs down to the short end of the mat. Take the arms up overhead as far as is comfortable for you, which may be a T, a V, or upper arms in line with the ears. Widen your legs so they're as wide as the mat and flex your feet as if you're standing on the floor. From your transverse abdominis muscle, from the belly muscle, use that muscle. So we're going to draw the belly in, a little bit of posterior pelvic, a little flattening of that lumbar spine, and then internally rotate your legs from the top of the leg bone. Internally rotate the legs so the toes are pointing in the direction of each other. Now, I don't want you to lift anything up off the floor, but I want you to imagine that you're going to. It's called an as-if lift. So with everything engaged, imagine you're trying to lift your legs and arms and whole body up off the floor and feel the engagement of the core. Another excellent isometric way to strengthen the core. The legs are still on the floor. They're connected to the earth. The toes are pointing in toward each other. You're just engaging. And then release and notice the difference. All right. Lower the arms down, bring the legs back to hip distance apart, and just bend the right knee. The left leg is extended and long. I'm going to take the right arm up overhead. The left leg's going to stay in line right next to the left arm's going to stay right next to the left leg. All right, so here we're going to flatten out 12 o'clock. So press the lumbar spine down just a tiny bit. And if it's okay with your back, play around with this. See if you can lift the foot just 2 inches off the floor. If that caused you any pain, bend both knees and just do a heel toe tap. Lower the foot down and then try it again. Take a breath in. As you exhale, flatten the lumbar spine and then lift the foot up just 2 inches off the ground. 2 inches. 2 inches takes more control than lifting it higher. And then lower. Let's do that one more time. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press down 12 o'clock on your lower back and then lift the heel up off the floor just a couple inches. Good. And then bring that knee back to meet the other. We'll go to the other side. Extend your right leg long. Lift the left arm up overhead. Right arm's resting right down by the right leg. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press 12 o'clock on your lumbar spine and then slowly lift that right foot up just a couple inches off the earth. Keep pressing out through the heel of the foot. Keep the legs strong and engaged. And then slowly lower it back down. Breathe in. Use that exhalation to press 12 o'clock down and lift that right leg up a couple inches off the floor. Good. And release one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Engage that TA, engage the core, lift the foot just a little bit. Good. And release. Bend both knees, bring the knees back into the chest, rock side to side. All right, lower the feet back down. We're going to come into a little bridge, all right? So the feet are, the knees are bent, the feet are hip distance apart. And if you have a block nearby and you want to place it in between your thighs, what you'll notice when you squeeze the block between your thighs is that there is a mechanical action that occurs from the thighs to the pelvic floor to the core. So when you squeeze the block, the pelvic floor engages, it lifts a bit, and the belly engages, so it helps you to draw that belly in. Keep your arms down by your side and snuggle your shoulder blades under your back. Then bend your elbows so your palms are facing each other across your torso. All right, so this is a position. Squeeze the block, Flatten out your lumbar spine a little bit, press 12 o'clock, and then just lift your hips a couple of inches. We're not going far. This isn't a full out bridge. It's just a little engagement. And squeeze your butt muscles. Squeeze the muscles around your sitting bones. And then lower that back down. Keep the feet connected to the earth. The feet don't lift. Squeeze the block, press the backs of the arms down, lift the hips a couple inches, and then squeeze the sitting bones with your butt muscles. And release one more time. All right, press the feet and the backs of the arms into the earth, squeeze the block, flatten out your lumbar spine a little bit, and then lift those hips. And release. Now remove the block, keep the legs where they are. We're gonna do what's called a slow, stable march here. So same thing, press the backs of the arms and the feet into the floor, flatten out your lumbar spine slightly, and lift the hips just a couple inches up off the earth. From here, see if it's possible to really engage the TA, really squeeze the muscles, the sitting bones with your muscles. Stabilize as you lift the right foot 2 inches off the floor and lower it, and then lift the left foot off the floor 2 inches and lower it. This is a slow, stabilized march. You want your pelvis to remain as stable as possible. It's a super slow, mindful, isolating movement. So lift the hips just a couple inches off the floor, and you're only lifting your foot an inch or two. Only an inch or two, real small, subtle move, and march the feet back and forth. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. This should be challenging. One more time each way. Good, and then lower back down, draw the knees into the chest. All right, release that core. So that slow, stable march will give you an indication of how strong your core is. If it's wobbling back and forth all over the place, you still have a little bit of stabilizing work to do, because all this work we're doing is intended to stabilize the core, stabilize the pelvis and the spine. All right, now here's your option. We're going to do a resting bridge and leg lifts, but you can do it with nothing under your back if you're having lower back issues. You can do it with a block on your pelvis, widthwise, so it's not on your lumbar spine at all, but it's low on your pelvis, or you can slide a blanket folded in thirds under your pelvis. Now, this is not going on your lumbar spine, it's going on the hip bones, okay, on the lower back of the pelvis. So when you're lying down on your back with your feet in bridge position, lift your hips up a little higher and slide whatever you've chosen under your pelvis. It should be comfortable, it should not hurt. All right, if you have lower back issues, just stay flat. All right, take a moment to settle into this. Make sure your head's not on too many blankets. We don't want your chin up against your back. So Monica, you may want to remove a little bit of your blankets there. Okay, good. Okay, all right. From here, we're going to bring the left knee into the chest. You can hold on to that with your hands under your thighs. The left knee is into the chest. Right leg's going to extend up toward the ceiling. Flex the foot, lift and spread the toes. Engage your transverse abdominis. So press down 12 o'clock, get the core engaged, and then slowly lower the foot so you can still see the toes, but lower it until you can just barely see the toes, and pulse it up and down slowly 10 times. If you're having any discomfort in your lower back, then you're just going to tap your heel toe, heel toe. All right. After you've done the 10, see if you can't continue to engage, take a breath in, reignite that core, so draw the belly in and slowly lower the foot down a little bit lower until you can no longer see the toes. So it's hovering over the mat, and lift and lower it 10 times. Again, if you're having discomfort in your lower back, you're going to keep your foot connected to the earth and do a heel toe tap. Keep the core strong. You should feel this more in the core than in the hip flexor or the thigh. After you've done that, bring both knees into the chest for a release. Hold on to now just the right leg and extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. Slowly lower the left leg down toward the earth till you can still see your toes, but just barely. Draw the belly in, engage your core, and lift and lower that foot 10 times. Keep the breath easy and steady. And then take a breath in. As you exhale, re-engage the TA, transverse abdominis, lower the foot until you can no longer see the toes, and lift and lower it with a pulse, just tiny little movements, very subtle movements. Beautiful. All right. And then bring the knees back into the chest, rock back and forth. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take the blanket out from under your back. Take your arms out to a T. Walk your feet with your knees bent, walk your feet hip distance apart, and just gently rock the knees side to side, a little more release in the core. While you're here, locate your strap. Find your strap. All right. Okay. This next thing we're going to do is it's called PNF. It's proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, and what it's doing is you're engaging a muscle in order to lengthen it. You're engaging it in order to allow it to release. Okay, so the way that you do it is as follows. All right, so let's bring the left knee into the chest and bring the strap around the bottom of the left foot, more toward the heel. So slide it down more toward the heel of the foot. All right, the knee and the thigh bone come and press on the belly a bit. So the knee is bent and it's pressed into the direction of the belly. All right, so now we're going to press the strap into the foot, while at the same time, you're trying to imagine you're trying to bring your heel toward your hip, but the strap is preventing you from doing that. So your heel, your muscles are trying to pull the heel towards your hip, and you're holding on to the strap, not allowing that to happen, creating resistance. All right, so you should feel some heat building up in your hamstring. Take another breath here. Don't straighten it yet. You're tempted to straighten it, I know. All right, now take a breath in. And as you exhale, release the pressure of the strap and allow the leg to lift and lengthen. And continue to press on the heel part of the foot. So you're pressing the strap now on the heel, and then draw the toes slightly toward the nose to get a little more length in your hamstring. See where you are with that. All right. Let's do that one more time. So bend the knee. You've got the strap more on the heel of your foot. Pull the strap. So you're pressing your foot into the heel and your strap into the heel into the strap. Imagine you're trying to bring your heel toward your hip, but the strap won't let it move. This is an isometric strengthening. All right, so you're engaging the hamstring. And then as you're ready, slowly lift and lengthen the leg back up. Get it nice and straight. And then see if you get a little more length. Draw the toes towards your head. See if you got a little more length in that hamstring. By engaging the hamstring and the quad, you'll be able to release it just a little bit more. All right, let's switch feet. Test it out first. Extend your right leg long and see how far you can bring your toes towards your nose. Just see where your leg is to start, all right? And then let's bend the knee, place the strap more on the heel of the foot, press the foot into the strap, strap into the foot, and then try to imagine you're bringing your heel towards your hip, and your strap is resisting that. So you're firing up the muscles of the hamstring and the quad. Hold it for another 5 seconds. And then release the pressure as you lengthen the leg up and see if you get a little more stretch in the hamstring. Let it lengthen, let the pelvis release toward the earth. And then one more time, bend the knee in toward the shoulder, in toward the chest. The strap is on the heel part of the foot. Press the foot into the strap, strap into the foot, and then try to bring the heel toward the hip, but don't allow it to happen. Use the strap to resist. Works for the arms too, right? A few more seconds here. Feel the heat build up in that upper leg. And then as you're ready, gently straighten the leg back up and draw the foot toward the head. See if you got a little more movement and length in that hamstring. Would that be true for anybody? All right, good. Bend the knee. Let's remove the strap and slowly roll over onto your side, and we're going to press up into tabletop. Press up into tabletop. So a lot of these core strengthening exercises are actually done from the floor, all right? So when you're on tabletop, you want to make sure that you've got your knees really padded with a blanket. If you know that tabletop's not going to work for you, you can use the wall or you can use a chair. And Karen's going to be demoing the chair for us today. All right. So let's all meet in tabletop. And think about that core too. Think about how can I really engage and work my core while I'm in this tabletop position. One way is to gently press the hands into the earth and then feel the front body come to the back body as you draw that belly in. Do the punch, do the queen's cough, or do the grapefruit squeeze, and just hold on to that for a moment and feel the strength of this posture just in and of itself. And then take those back ribs up, lower the chin to the chest, come into your cat pose, really draw that belly in. Use this as a core strengthener. And as you inhale, release the belly, sink the belly, lift the head and lift the heart. Come into cow and draw the belly in, lift those back ribs up, chin to the chest, tailbone lowers. Inhale, sink the belly, lift the head, lift the heart. And just a couple more with your own breath, and really use your exhalation to draw that belly in, make it a core strengthener. And as you inhale, let those abdominal muscles stretch and lengthen as you go into your cow posture. Feel the pelvis moving, just like we were doing on the clock. That pelvis was going, flattening out and arching up, right? Good. All right, come back to neutral table and just shift your hips gently side to side. Take your time with this, a little movement in those hips. And then make some big circles with your hips. Another direction. Nice. All right, and come back to your tabletop. Gently press the hands, mostly the fingertips, into the mat and really draw that belly in and up. Get the core strongly engaged. If it works for you to curl your toes under, curl your toes under. If not, you keep your feet flat on the earth. And we're going to shift over to the right just a little bit and lift the left knee an inch or two off the earth. Keep the core strong. Lift that left knee off just up a little bit. Lower that back down, shift over to the other side. So we're going to lift the right knee up off the floor just a little bit to slide a piece of paper under. Now you can keep shifting back and forth, or you can really get that core strong and engaged and lift both knees up off of the floor just a couple of inches. We're just lifting the knees up off the floor. This is a core strengthener. You're going to feel the core really working here. And lower it back down one more time. Press the hands into the earth and slowly lift the knees up off the floor. So you can just slide a piece of paper under it. And release. Come up on those knees. Did you feel that one? Yeah, make some circles with your wrists. The hands going. All right, and then what's the quintessential core strengthener on tabletop? It's bird dog, right? So you really have to try to stabilize the core so that you can maintain a nice balanced movement of opposite arm leg stretching, and see if you can't really keep the pelvis level without turning one way or another. So let's just play around with that a little bit. I'm going to turn sideways. Come to your tabletop. Press the hands into the floor, front body toward the back body, and extend your right leg back behind you. And you can stay right here or draw the energy up that leg. So really engage the muscles of that leg before you float it up to hip distance apart. Now, keeping your pelvis really level here by engaging the core. Slowly spider finger walk your left fingers out in front of you. And you can keep them there on spider fingers or float the left arm up so the upper arm's in line with your ear. See how stable you are. Beautiful. Good. And then slowly lower that back down, wag the tail, and then we'll go to the other direction. Okay? So as you're ready, get your tabletop set up as you extend the left foot back behind you. Draw the energy up that leg first. Get it engaged. Then slowly lift it up. Begin to spider finger walk your right fingertips forward. Keep your fingertips on the earth or bring the upper arm in line with the ear. Keep your breath even. Use your Ujjayi breathing here. Breathe in through the nose and out through a slightly constricted throat. And then slowly lower everything back down. Shift your weight side to side. All right, and I think we will come up to standing. All right, so take your time. We'll come up to standing, clearing the mat except for blocks in front of you. Everybody doing okay? You sweating a little bit? All right. Okay, good. Let's do a little empty coat sleeves just to release the core. So you imagine you've got that coat hanging over your shoulders, but you didn't put your arms in the sleeves. So really let those arms be floppy. If you're feeling any sensation in a knee that doesn't feel good, make sure you lift the opposite heel up. One more breath. All right, and slow that down, shake it out. All right, let's find your mountain pose. So feet are a happy distance apart for you. And press the feet into the earth. And three things we can do, right? One is belly punch. So imagine you're standing here and you need to guard. So engage that TA. How's that feel? Can you even feel a little bit of activity going around in the back body where that corset attaches to the back? Keep holding that in. You're not gonna be able to take a real good breath with this. Now release that. Notice the difference. All right, Queen's cough. The hand just automatically goes up. All right. And release that. And then the last one is the grapefruit squeeze. So we're going to get the lower hammock of the belly. So the grapefruit is right between your hip points. So you're going to crank those hip points toward each other. Squeeze the juice. All right. And then maybe a little extra guarding. Somebody's getting ready to punch you while you're squeezing the juice. Whew. A lot going on there, right? You feel that? All right, maintain that. Reach the arms up overhead. Inhale. Now remember when we were doing the as if, can you get as much engagement in here as you were doing in the as if we were going to try to lift our legs up off the earth? Remember this pose on the floor? Strong and stable. Lower the arms down. And then one more inhale. Lower the left hand down, crescent. Trickle those fingers down toward the heel. Now use your side body muscles to lift back up. Go the other way. Nice. And one more time each way, using those side body oblique muscles, part of the core. Inhale and exhale. Good. Both arms up overhead, palms together and down to the heart. Now take your feet at least mat width distance or a little bit further than mat width distance as we do get into goddess legs. The feet are going at a 45-degree angle. Tailbone is now pointing straight down toward the earth. So we're not sticking our butt out and back, we're taking it straight down. So those knees are gonna have to track directly over the feet. Stretching through the inner thighs, opening up the outer hip. All right, hands can come to the heart. And then open the arms out, shoulders in line with the elbows, lift up through the heart space a bit. Press the feet into the earth. Good. Straighten the legs, reach the arms up overhead, gaze between the hands. Full breath in, and as you exhale, come back down into your goddess. Use your Ujjayi breath. Bring the hands down onto the thighs. We're going to bring right shoulder to left knee, stretching through the back body, the QL, the quadratus lumborum muscle in the back. Come back to center, other direction. One more time each way. Inhale up, exhale, right shoulder to left knee. Inhale up, left shoulder to right knee. Good. And lift back up, straighten the knees and heel toe walk your feet back to center. Shake the legs out. Okay, we're gonna work the glute muscles as well, especially the gluteus medius, because that helps to stabilize the core and the spine as well. So get your block and we're gonna put it between the thighs. When you squeeze the inner thighs together, remember what happens. You send a muscular chain reaction to the pelvic floor and then to the belly as well. All right, hands come to the heart to start. Find your breath. Take a moment to gently squeeze the block. Shift the weight to the heels of your feet. Send your hinge forward a quarter fold and then start to sink the hips and knees. Not arching the back or sending the butt up. We're still lengthening that tailbone toward the heels. Head and neck stay lifted. We're not collapsing into this, using that core strength to keep you lifted. Keep squeezing the block. One more breath here. Use your Ujjayi breath. And then press the feet into the earth, come to standing. Take the arms out to the side. Shift the weight to the heels of the feet. Squeeze the block. Sink the hips, bend the knees, keep the tailbone lengthened, don't arch your back. Head and neck are in alignment, not lifting the chin up. Good. Press the feet into the earth, straighten the knees. Hands come to the heart. I would like to do 10 chair squats. Do what works for you. If it's too much, just don't go down as far. But we need to strengthen the quads and the glutes, all right? So this will do it. Shift the weight to the heels of your feet, sink the hips, and then press back up. 1, shift the weight to the heels of the feet, send the sitting bones back, sit, and lift. Good. Maintain this with the breath. Use your Ujjayi breathing. And only go as far as feels good in your body. If you want to take your arms out to the side for different leverage, you can do that, even if you want to bring your arms up overhead, as long as you're not arching your back. 3 more. Squeezing the block will also help to support the knees. Last one. Send your butt back a little bit more. There you go. Good. And lift. Okay, remove the block. This is where mindfulness is going to come in here. I gave you this as homework a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do the walking, the chair walk. Let me just show you what that looks like. I'm going to come into a third chair or a 2/3 chair. And this is all about shifting weight. So I'm going to shift my weight over here to this right leg take a tiny little step to the left, shift my weight onto the left, and step together. So it's shift, step, shift, together. Shift, step, shift, together. And you're really going to feel that in these gluteus medius muscles. So just take a little walk to one side of your mat, really being mindful of shifting the weight. When you get to one side of the mat, go to the other side. Little tiny steps, shift your weight, be mindful, take your time. Make sure you feel that shift before you move the foot. This is really going to strengthen the gluteus medius and help to support the knees and the knee alignment, the hip alignment, and the spine alignment. All right. And you want to try to work up to 10 one way and then 10 the other way. All right, straighten the knees. And you're going to feel that tomorrow, okay, in the glutes. But it's all good stuff. All right, let's find our blocks. Place it on the top of your mat. And core strength is required for the hinging forward and back. If you didn't have core strength, you would not be able to hinge forward and back. You want to maintain that nice neutral curve of your lumbar spine, so the knees may need to stay bent as you lift and lower. Okay, we're going to do pranam, that's bowing forward. So we hinge forward, holding on to something, the thighs, the shins, or the block. And then we come up halfway from wherever we were. Hands on the thighs, lift the heart. And then as you exhale, you bow forward again and allow the crown of the head to release. To come up, you bend the knees a lot. And you come up by either pressing the hands into the thighs to lift up, or you can bring your hands to your hips with your elbows back, press into your feet and come up, okay? So I'll do both and cue as much as I can, but you need to keep your back safe, keep the knees soft, okay? Core strengthening. Find your mountain pose. Now here, can you isometrically imagine you're taking your legs away from each other, taking them out to the sides, fire up the outer edge of the heel. That makes more space in your sacrum. Get your core ready. Do whatever you do that makes sense to you. Then inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, bow forward, hands on the thighs, shins, or blocks. Inhale, come halfway up, hands press into the thighs, lift the heart. Exhale with bent knees, deep in the bow. Bend the knees a lot, press up in your method. Hands on the thighs to press up, or hands on the hips with the elbows back. Get length in your spine, hands together down to the heart. Again with the breath, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bow forward. Bend the knees a lot, come up in your way. Inhale the arms overhead, palms together and down to the heart. Last one, breathe in, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, deepen the fold. Bend the knees a lot, come up in your best way. Inhale the arms overhead, palms together, hands down to the heart. Find your breath. Nice. Okay, let's move the blocks and turn sideways, facing the tree if you would. Or actually face the door. That way, face the door. Okay. From here into warrior two, we're going to take a nice wide stance on your mat. Everyone will take their right toes, turn them to the short end of the mat. And the left heel is going to kick back just a little bit. There you go. Collarbones are going to face the long front edge of your mat, facing the door. Sweep the arms out to the side. Take a nice breath in and a bend to that front knee. Knee stacks directly over ankle. Just take a little bend to that front knee. front knee into warrior two. Good, nice, strong and stable here. Open up through that inner thigh just a little bit so that that knee is hovering over the foot. Good. One more breath. Use your Ujjayi breath. And then straighten that front knee. Bring the hands to the hips and turn your toes facing forward. Hands are going to slide onto the thighs. Take a nice breath in and hinge forward from your hip crease into a wide forward fold with the hands resting on the thighs. The torso is parallel to the earth. And now just wobble your pelvis. Send your right hip out just a tiny bit to the right and your left hip out a tiny bit to the left. Core strength holding you up in this posture. Bend the knees a little bit. Press back up to standing and heel toe walk your feet back to center. A little bit of cross crawl. So march with the right foot, tap it with the left hand and vice versa. Right foot touches left, right hand touches left knee, left hand touches right knee. Good. All righty. Let's go to the other side with warrior now. So you can turn around if you choose or stay in the direction, do whatever you want. You can face the tree. Let's face the tree, a different perspective, right? All right, take a nice wide stance. We're going to take those left toes, turn them toward the short end of the mat, and kick your right heel back just a little bit. Collarbones are going to face the long front edge of your mat. All right, think about your tailbone pointing straight down. Keep it in the center. All you're going to do is take a bend to the knees. We're not leaning into this. We're going straight down with a little bend in that front left knee. Sweep the arms out to the side. Gaze over those left fingertips and try to use your awareness to open up through that left inner thigh so the knees hovering over that left foot. Strong and stable. Use your Ujjayi breathing. I'm stronger than I think I am. Breathing in and breathing out, staying focused. Keep that core strong. Use your core to support this beautiful posture. Good. And then we'll bring the hands back to the hips, straighten the front knee, turn your toes facing forward, and then heel toe walk your feet back to center. Shake those legs out. Okay. All righty, so let's do a tree pose. So if you want to find a spot on a wall or a balance prop or something like that, really want to see if you really engage the core, if you feel like your balance is better. So make sure your feet are in a nice stable place. If you need a wall, use a wall. All right. For balance, 3 important things. Foundation, so get your feet rooted to the earth. Really feel the roots coming out of the bottoms of the feet. Core, pick which thing spoke to you most. Belly punch, grapefruit squeeze, queen's cough. Get the core involved. Now get the back body involved as well. So gently draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Lift up through the heart space. Strong and stable in this mountain pose. And then shift over towards your balance prop. Come up on the opposite toe, the center of the room toe, and turn that knee out to the side. And then as you're ready, keep it there or slide it over to your heel or to your calf. And then use your drishti. Look at something in front of you that's not moving. With that strong core, does that help your balance? Is the foundation strong and stable? Your drishti, looking at something in front of you that's not moving, letting everything in the periphery fade away. Grow your branches if that works for you. One finger can be on the wall. And let go of the stories. Breathe in, breathe out. Strong core, strong trunk. One more breath. And go ahead and slowly come out of that as gracefully as you came in. And go ahead and turn the other direction. Shake everything out. Set your mountain pose, set your core, set your upper back, shift your weight toward the wall, come up on the opposite toe, turn that knee out to the side, and you decide where that foot's gonna go. Branches can grow. Find your center. Let go of the stories. Anywhere but on the knee joint, right? Beautiful. You got this. Wobbling teaches us how to regain balance, just like in life. We're going to have wobbles in life. Good. And then go ahead and lower that down. Shake it all out. Beautiful. Did that really engaging the core make any difference in your balance? Yeah, okay, I got some thumbs up. All right, so let's go ahead and get down on our backs again. We're all going to meet in a constructive rest pose, which is on your back with your knees bent. And take a moment to notice where your body takes a sigh. Notice if you feel any particular release as you lie down on your back. Is it your lower back, middle back, neck, hips? Take a couple of cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through an open mouth. Walk the knees together. Put the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop out to the side in Baddha Konasana. We'll do that PNF again, the proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitations. We're going to engage to release, right? So press the soles of the feet together. Press, 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 press. The knees will lift a little bit. Keep pressing. Feel the inner thighs working, the outer thighs working. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, stop pushing the feet together and allow the knees to release down. We'll do that one more time. So press the feet together, allow the knees to lift slightly. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Feel the glutes, the hips, the inner and outer thighs. Press, 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 press. Take a breath in. As you exhale, release the pressure. Allow the knees to soften. Bring the hands onto the belly. Feel the breath. Take your hands to the sides of the knees. Gently lift your knees back up. Come into a full body stretch. Reach long with the fingertips, long with the heels. Open and close the hands. Do the right hand real fast, the left hand slowly. Open and close. Right hand fast, left hand open and closes slowly. And then do it the other way. Left hand fast, right hand slowly. And lower the arms down. And take 5 or 6 breaths to do whatever posture your body still needs. It could be a twist, it could be a happy baby, Apanasana, whatever it is that your body needs right now. Use that awareness to listen to what would feel good. And then when you're ready to settle into Shavasana, make sure you're warm enough. If you need socks on or a jacket, go ahead and settle in with that. Take another quick body scan. Notice how your body feels after this practice. Use your breath to soften any areas that may have accumulated any tension, particularly the lower back or the belly. Breathe into those places and spaces to release and let go. And then let go of the conscious breath and allow the breath to breathe itself. So begin to come back into this space. Take a nice full rich breath in. A slower, longer breath out. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Make circles with your ankles and wrists. Gently turn your head side to side. Stretch and move in any way that would feel good in your body. Begin to bend your knees. Rock the knees side to side. Finally ending up on your favorite side, pausing for just a minute and really giving yourself a big hug of gratitude for taking care of you today. Remind yourself to be mindful of using that strong core that you have in your everyday life. So as you leave the mat, take your yoga with you. And then press your hands into the earth and use the strength of your hands to help you lift up to a comfy seat for you. There we go. All right, and then the hands are available. Bring those to the heart space. And let's just send each other off with another resounding Om, using that wonderful diaphragmatic breath to create this lovely sound. And after the Om, I'm going to hold a moment of silence to just let that resonate as well. So take a nice breath in, full breath out. Another rich breath in. I'm so grateful for all of you. Just know that all the light and love in my heart honors that same light and love in each of yours. So bow your head to honor your own practice, and then blink your eyes open and greet your Sangha with Namaste. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you all. How's everybody feel? How's your back okay?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel okay? Good.